Hello, this is Top Stories on Viewer Television. My name is Patient Sidi. President Bola Tinubu is expected to speak at the 78th National United Nations General Assembly scheduled for the September 18 to 26, 2023. This year's General Assembly will be held under the presidency of His Excellency Dennis Francis of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. During the General Assembly, heads of state will take turns to deliver their addresses. Tinubu at the Assembly will highlight Nigeria's effort towards the attainment of the SDGs tackling climate change, ensuring international peace and security, among others. The President is expected to deliver his inaugural national statement on the floor of the UN headquarters on September 19. Tinubu's attendance at the UNGA marks his first since assuming the presidency in May. The management of Kuwait Aviation has refuted claims of tampering with the Bombardier Challenger 605 aircraft. Registration marks FN80A belonging to Dr. Deji Adeleke, the elder brother of Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke. They insisted that the aircraft was under 24-hour security surveillance and CCTV footage showed no record of tampering as insinuated. Vanguard had reported that Governor Adeleke was scheduled to fly from Lagos to Abuja on his brother's private jet, but the pilot had to call it off after discovering a fault in the engine. In a race to beat the deadline for the planned commencement of an indefinite strike that may lead to the shutdown of the economy, the federal government held a meeting with organized labor and post-subsidy removal palliatives for workers. The parley, hosted by the Minister of Labour Samuel Along in Abuja, however, failed to reach a consensus as the Nigerian Labour Congress insisted that the FG must meet its demand ahead of the 21-day ultimatum issued on September 1st by the Congress. The union had on September 1st handed down the 21-day ultimatum to the FG over the delay in sharing of palliatives, saying it might be compelled to declare an indefinite labor action if its demands were not met. Also, a faction of the Oyo Kingmakers, Oyo Mercy, said Governor Seyi Makinde had not approved the nominee forwarded as the next Alafin of Oyo over failure to comply with due process. The Kingmakers comprised of High Chief Agbakin of Oyo Asimuyu, Atanda, High Chief Samu of Oyo, Lamedi Oye Wale, and Bale Ajegba Odurinde Olusegun, who addressed journalists in Oyo town, said the process that led to the selection of a particular nominee was fraught with irregularities. Newsman reports that a faction of the traditional kingmakers in Oyo town, led by the Basharun of Oyo, High Chief Yusuf Akinade, said that they are waiting on the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde for the inauguration of the new Alafin. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and 13 other agencies allegedly failed to remit $9.8 billion in revenue to the Federation account in 1 year. The Nigeria Attractive Industry Transparency Initiative (NATI) in a 2021 oil and gas industry report, which audited the activities of 69 companies and the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas, 13 government entities, and one state-owned enterprise, NNPC, said that the unremitted funds accounted for 8.47% of the $23 billion total revenue generated by the federal government during the year under review. NATI specifically said NPCL could not account for $1.9 billion from the revenue it generated from the federal government in 2021. It, however, did not name the other defaulting agencies. Also, the rift between Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki and his deputy Philip Schreiber further deepened yesterday. The embattled number 2 citizens of the state was barred from accessing his office inside the government house, Benin City, the capital state. Schreiber arrived at the office in the early hours of yesterday in company with some of his aides, but met the gates of the one-story building hosting his office firmly locked. He, however, left about an hour after interacting with some security personnel who informed him that this office was locked following a directive from above. Senior lawyers have raised concerns that ongoing cases at the Supreme Court will suffer delay during the 60-day period that the presidential election appeal will last. This is because of shortage of justice at the Apex Court following non-replacement of the retired justice. The Supreme Court is constitutionally required to have a full complement of 21 justices, but currently there are only 11 justices. The latest to bow out of the Supreme Court is Justice Amina UNGA, who turned 70 on September 3rd. Following their failure to upturn the February 25th election victory of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the President Election Petitions Court, People's Democratic Party candidate Atiku Abubakar and his Labour Party counterpart Peter Obi are set to appeal for their judicial losses. They have till September 20th as deadline, 14 days after the September 6th judgment by the PC to file their appeals at the Supreme Court. And that's all on Top Stories. My name is Patience City. Many thanks for watching. Do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.